We'll come back to politics in a minute, but we've had the very sad news in the last hour or so that Tony Bennett has died. The legendary American singer has left us, aged 96. He had an incredible career. He was very well known for so many songs, including I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Steve Denyer is with me, Virgin Radio presenter and showbiz expert. I mean, Tony Bennett really had an amazing innings, sold over 50 million records, 18, I should say, Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Isn't it?
Incredible person.
70 albums, 70 albums.
My goodness.
I think we've lost the original, like one of the last crooners left, really.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a man who managed to, what an amazing career. Actually kind of fell out of favour in his 40s, and he came back thanks to being on programmes like The Simpsons and the David Letterman Show in the 80s and MTV, and of course he had a big resurgence in his career in 2014 when he teamed up with Lady Gaga.
I mean, that was a bit random, wasn't it? But it was brilliant, yeah.
I think Lady Gaga's quoted as saying he saved her life.
Wow.
With his music, with just the sheer kind of power in the man's voice. An incredible man. He was recently pictured, I think he was back in April, in a wheelchair, looking incredibly frail.
He had Alzheimer's, yeah.
He did. He was diagnosed in apparently 2016.
But he did write on Twitter then, life is a gift, even with Alzheimer's. My goodness, his cognitive function was impaired, but he was still able to sing a lot of his songs, and of course that will have brought much love from his family and a real hope as well.
He once said he wasn't interested in hit songs, he's interested in a hit back catalogue. And he refused to give the stories around the songs because he said, you'll pick up the stories in my performance. So a real legend. They don't make many people like this anymore. Frank Sinatra said a couple of years ago, he said, for my money, Tony Bennett is the best singer in the business. He excites me when I watch him. He moves me. He's a singer who gets across what the composer has in mind, from Frank Sinatra.
Goodness me, that is quite the tribute as well. He had an interesting political involvement as well. I didn't actually realise this until today. He was involved in the civil rights movement and participated in the 1965 Selma to Montgomery marches. He refused to perform in apartheid-era South Africa. He was a lifelong Democrat as well. So it wasn't just an artistic pursuit. There were causes that he took up as well, well before that was kind of fashionable for many people.
So much. If you go back to, the 1930s and the 1940s when he was a young man growing up, I mean, what a life.
Yeah.
What a legacy. What stories. Everyone should read up on just what he achieved in his life.
Incredible
96
figure.
Is a great innings as well.
How do you think we'll remember him, Steve?
I think from the song you mentioned, my favourite song, the San Francisco song, I think Rags to Riches. Personally, it depends on how old you are. I will always remember the Amy Winehouse duet. She really credited him for being there. I think she said, if it wasn't for Tony Bennett, she wouldn't have been the great singer that we know. And all those duets, the Lady Gaga, the whole...
Is that where you would start? If you're someone who... I mean, I know Tony Bennett's music, so do you, but there might be people listening to this who are just not... I mean, it seems bizarre, but there will be people who won't be familiar with Tony Bennett. Is that where you would start with those?
I would start there and listen to the music that he managed to make with contemporary artists, and then go back and then travel back into his rich, back catalogue, and you will be amazed. Just kind of sift through some of the videos on YouTube. 3-hour shows. This man on his own with an orchestra holding court. Just the most incredible man.